So I am going to do this a bit out of order. I just made the beginner's guide, but Reset came up. I wasn't paying attention to time, so I'm actually going to give you guys a short guide on Groundhog Day. Um, so the first thing you want to do is, if you see here, yes, I got my YouTube link up, but you want to coordinate with your alliance. Whoever's on, this guy actually has a higher level troop tunnel than I do. I am going to jump into his because the troop tunnel gives you a boost of 1% per level, so even if it's 1%, it's going to give you a higher percent of damage. I know a lot of people are carrier crazy, but I only use shooters for rallies or just ever. See, I have T7 evolved. Yes, I use Golden Spiny, despite what people will say about Golden Spiny. I'm calling you out on Briss Darkness. I love you. I watch all your videos. They've been a great help. But for free to play, I think that you are categorically wrong. I would not invest too much into it. I wouldn't go past skill 6. You see, I have that. I wouldn't get skill 5. I wouldn't get skill 7, maybe skill 8 somewhere down the road. Skill 7 for a hunter is pointless. You also, if you're using all shooters, you of course want to use a praying mantis. Now here's another trick I'm going to show you. If I were to jump into this, it's already full. If I were to jump into that, if I were to jump into that pro rally, what I would do is, instead of, this is the only time I ever let my units get to 100%, by the way, is for Groundhog Day specifically. Jump into the rally. Oh, I missed that rally. I'm just gonna start my own because I have too much stamina. You see, I had it set to leave automatically. I set it to 10 minutes so more people can jump into it. Now, if you hit instructions, it will actually tell you who in your server is doing the most damage. This is all going to change. The event just started, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. It's not going to do that much. Now, you see, if you get rank 1, you actually get 50 orange skins for Groundhog. So it's definitely worth doing a lot. You also, if you defeat, quote unquote, defeat the Groundhog, you get one skin frag as well. So the first 2 weeks of Warzone, if it's the same people who got the most damage, will actually get a free orange skin, which is great benefit. Now, if, like on my other account, I'm not that high, you don't need to be high. What I would do is, when you're doing this first set of rallies, as it's about to leave, pop a advanced raspberry. I save my raspberries for certain days. You see, I also have insect fodder. You also get points for hatching insects, which is why it is important to get to level 16. That way you have the ability to hatch and level up insects. In this case, I am not going to be spending much time on my main today. I am going to be going to the other, which is why I'm doing this outside of colony action. When you get to this having this many accounts, I'm not doing this on a computer or BlueStacks or anything like that. I am doing this on my phone. And it is important to manage the Tabi play. So, see, I have a bunch of oranges. I can't level any of these up yet, really. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So, I'm going to level as many of these guys up as I can. So you see, if you can see here, sorry, my hair is being annoying. If you can see, I have Give me 1 second. So if you can see, I have a bunch of blues here, but I'm only using orange insects. Eventually, I'm going to replace these probably with blue and purple. I initially bought the monthly pack, which is a separate guide I'll go over for. So that was my fish tank. I forgot I had the aerator on. It's kind of noisy. I forgot I had I bought the monthly pack and I didn't realize that it would be actually a difference in 1 or 2 levels between insects. I will do a separate insect guide later explaining why that is. But I really don't, I'm not going to use a snail, but I am going to get some of these blue purples leveled up. That way I can use them in the future, and it also gives me points. It's basically free points. So another thing to note as I'm going through and do these upgrades, you also want to focus on one insect at a time. It doesn't matter if you have 5 level 2 if you can only use one of them. On that note, if you can get a couple up to 3 or 4 that are separate that you can use for different things like your units here, that is okay too. I would use praying mantis or scorpion first if you're a shooter or carrier main, and then I would use atlas beetle, because the atlas beetle, once you get it all the way leveled up, it actually has some pretty good perks. Not as good specifically as praying mantis or scorpion, but it's still pretty good. Alright, so you see I just did my insects. I did one attack with the groundhog, and I'm already almost up, just short of the 4th tier rewards. And so, especially if you're free to play, you're not going to be able to do, and especially the first few weeks, you're not going to be able to do as much damage to groundhogs as a whale or someone who's pay to win who puts any amount of time into the game. So I would definitely focus on insects first. You'll hear a lot of people don't hatch insects, they're a waste of resource, whatever. They're going to help you get resources in the long term and give you a combat boost, as well as giving you those wars that would normally be capped in Warzone. And remember, you're based not only on a day-to-day, you kind of have to pick your battles, but also on a weekly and then bi-weekly basis of whether you're the servers, not bi-weekly basis, but you are on a weekly basis. So picking the days that you can get the most points is a good idea. And if you checked, insects are really, really easy to do, especially when you have bonus points. Another thing, I am the king of bouncing around, as I've said. This is where managing your time, especially if you have farms or stuff, comes into play. And with Warzone, as I said, I'm not worried in this account about bounty action. I can pay to get money back and rewards back. Not too worried about it. But on my other accounts, it's much more difficult. Free to play accounts only act within colony action. Anyways, I think for now I'll probably do another video once I've covered some more stuff. I don't want to confuse people who just come in, see the 2 videos, and then they jump straight into Groundhog Day. Especially if you're just starting out, it's not something you're going to have to worry about for a long time. So that's going to be it for this video. Have a great day, y'all.